Hey, my name is Dean Harris and welcome to History 102, the second class in the Western Civilization series. These classes are set up so that they are independent, discrete classes. So if you plan on taking more than one of these classes, there's no reason why you need to take them in order. You can take them in reverse order, bounce around, whatever fits into your schedule. A lot of students take 101 because 101 we talk about two ancient civilizations that many students are curious about or know something about. Maybe they've seen the film Gladiator or 300 and are interested in learning more about ancient Greece and ancient Rome. History 103, we cover more recent history, and many students feel more comfortable learning about, talking about a period of history that's closer to our contemporary period, a little more tangible, a little more recognizable. 102, on the other hand, I think is my favorite class because in this class we really talk about many of the ideas that fuel our contemporary world. So we'll be talking about colonialism, that period of time in which European powers colonized, discovered North and South America. We'll be talking about the Reformation, so that period of time in which Catholicism, Christianity at the time, was split into two, Catholicism and Protestantism. We'll be talking about the Scientific Revolution, that period of time in which Europeans rethought and reimagined and re-understood our natural world, whether it's astronomy, whether it's microscopy, or gravity. We'll also be learning about the Enlightenment, that period of time, the 18th century, in which many of the political ideas that are the foundation of democracy were developed. Ideas like checks and balances. And then we'll talk about the French Revolution in this class as well, too. That is where we will end. A little bit about me. Again, the name is Dean. I've been teaching here for many years. I primarily teach the Western Civ series, but I've also taught a World Religions class last winter. I taught a class with Tom Berry in sociology. It was an American culture and American history class. We will be teaching that class again next summer, and if that's something that you're interested in, talking about history and music, keep that on your radar. I'll be talking about that during the class and throughout this year. So that's a summer class. So this class, online class, one other thing. I do teach in the classroom as well too. I'm teaching a 101, Western Civ 101 class this term in the evening. And I just want to encourage those individuals who are thinking of being a history major, if you want to pursue a 4-year degree. I would encourage you to take face-to-face history classes. Nothing wrong with an online class, but there's a lot of back and forth and engagement and interaction that goes on in a face-to-face class that just isn't really possible in an online class. So history majors, stay in this class, but future history classes you really should take in the classroom. So this class is a highly structured class. It's an online class. One of the reasons why I like to create structured online classes is because I don't want to surprise students. Right? They should encounter a highly structured class. They know what to expect, and it's maybe even somewhat repetitive, but the idea is it's predictable. So in this class there are basically two kinds of weeks. The odd weeks, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, are discussion weeks. And so the primary activity that you'll be participating in are two discussion threads. So this week there are two discussion threads. Because it's week 1, there's also a third introduction thread, but subsequent weeks there will just be 2 threads. So for each of those discussion boards, you need to post an initial response, and then by the end of the week, 1 reply to a peer is required as well too. The even weeks are research weeks, and those are weeks in which you will be writing a paper. All told, you'll be writing about 20 pages of material for this class, and that's kind of a standard for college classes, is writing 20 pages of material. Each week there's also a quiz that you'll take. So you'll have a chapter to read for each weeks 1 through 9, and there's an accompanying quiz that you'll take. I encourage you to take that quiz while you are reading through the chapter. And then the last assignment is a final project. There is no midterm, but there is a final project which you will work on during weeks 10 and then the final week. So basically there are kind of 4 sets of assignments: the discussion boards, the papers, the quizzes, and the final project. And they weigh approximately a quarter of the total points. Right? So highly structured, but then you get a lot of practice. So odd weeks you get to practice interacting with your peers in the discussion boards. The even weeks you get to practice writing more formal such written sorts of assessments. Right? What else here? Make sure to look at the left margin of the classroom. You'll see a number of documents that I've posted there. The course calendar is there, which will list the due dates for all assignments. There's a copy of the syllabus. There's a link to both email, if you want to email me, or email your peers, and a link to the discussion board. There are documents there explaining the plagiarism policy, the late policy. Make sure you check out the late policy so you know when you can and can't submit late assignments. There's a document on discussion board tips, how to write great discussion board responses and peer replies. And there's a document about web sources to avoid. You probably won't be using many web sources in your discussion board threads, but for your papers you will. So be sure and check that out before you write your first paper so you know which sources not to use. You can email me whatever sorts of questions you have. There is also in the discussion board a course question thread. If you have a question that you think the answer to which might benefit your peers in the class, I encourage you to post that question in that course question thread. Last thing. So if we were in a face-to-face classroom, the campus policy is that to keep your seat for week 2, you need to attend all class sessions during week 1. If you miss a class, you can be dropped. So in the online class, the instructor gets to decide what that attendance policy is. So the attendance policy for this class is, if you want to keep your seat for week 2, you need to do the following things. One is complete the quiz, and then post the initial response to each of the 3 discussion boards. Right. The peer replies aren't due until Saturday, so you can do those on Saturday. But the quiz and the initial discussion board posts need to be done by the end of the day, Thursday. The end of the day, Thursday. So Friday, I'll go in and check who has done the assignments. They get to stay in class. Those individuals who have not completed the assignments, I will drop from the class. So keep that in mind. Make sure you get all that stuff done by Thursday, 11:59 p.m. That's it. Enjoy week 1. Any questions, email me, post to the thread. Looking forward to a great first week and a class. Enjoy.